welcome to the D&D basement. D&D Paladin here, and today we're gonna show you a few stuff that I made, including 2 monsters that I did, and I think I did quite a great job. As well, I'm gonna show you dice towers that I'm actually doing, and one of them is almost finished and the other one is pretty much already finished. I'm just finishing up the ceiling methods on it. So let's get down to it. The first piece was a Spectator. So here's the Spectator. As you can see, it's kind of a small beholder. Kind of the it's actually a summoned creature. So how I did it, I simply started with some tin foils and created some ball out of it. Then when it comes to the eye stalks, I use pipe cleaners, which I tried, but they're too big because I actually did everything before over the hair-like stuff. As for the eye itself, I decided that I had only crystal beads, but they were cool for it, so I planted them on the pipe cleaners, and that was it. Then I just hot glued everything into place. The main eye here is actually a push pin, but I told myself I'll use the cutters and just cut the extra stuff out of the push pin, leaving myself only with the nail and the bottom, the round piece. Seriously, I didn't do well in doing it. It's not as it should. The tongue is a bit too small. The eyes, the tentacles of the eye stalks are just too big, so it ended up not too well. So, but still, it's good enough for play, and that's good enough for me. So it gets the thumbs up. So the next part is actually his older brother, which is an actual life-size beholder. Now this one, I'm pretty proud of it. I actually took the same approach with the crystal beads, and the same pipe cleaners for the eye stalks. And the only difference is that I actually burned the thing all the way to the wireframe. So it allows me to actually give them some shape even now that it's painted and everything. It allows me to just put it the way I want it to, and it does quite the actual thing. As for the body itself, I started with with a rock and then added some tin foil until I had the actual ball that I needed. The main eye here is actually a marble that I just sit it there. Then use the Scotty's toothpicks for the mouth. So toothpicks. Now, one of the things you will notice here with it is that there is quite some textures, including some. Here, I'll go closer. You'll see that it has some protruding stuff out of it. That's actually me just doing some poking with a stick into the hot glue, and it gave that stuff. Now I completely sealed it with Mod Podge and worked it great. Now I put some varnish into the eyes itself, and here's what it did. Now for the second part of our video, here's the first dice towers that I actually created. It's quite simple in its shape. It's actually just a Sprite bottle that I've got upside down and just added some stuff into it. Just added something so it can bounces off. As you can see, the top is removable. Not that it was supposed to be like that at first, but I thought it was cool to actually be able to remove it. Sorry for the hiccup. I actually, when I decided to be able to remove the pieces, I actually removed the base here. So I have to repaint it. But that's pretty much how the dice tower looks. I had to make some bigger windows here because when I used it, dice would stay stuck right inside it and I wouldn't be able to see anything. So now if they get stuck here at the base of it, if they get stuck here, I can still see it. So that's why it's all the way big like that. Sometimes the dices, even though it's a big wall here, the dice sometimes will just bounce back and then out of the stuff. So this was my first dice tower, and I was actually quite happy with it. So it was still a good thing. But now I'm ready to pass to the next phase. The next phase being the old dice tower. The older dice tower with creeping mold. Right now you can see that it's a bit shiny around here, but that's because I'm still, the Mod Podge is, the ceiling Mod Podge is actually still drying off, but it's mainly done. So you have, as you can see, you have creeping mold all over the place, including inside here, inside the actual pocket. And you have it all the way around the place, around the stuff, including a lot here. That's quite a lot of mold. It's an old dice tower and everything. It's an old tower. So that's pretty much it. At the top, you can see the same kind of wall on the other dice tower, the other smaller dice tower. You can see it has the top of the tower, and you have creeping mold all around it. I've not put creeping mold inside because what's inside is not important, but it's a big one. At the bottom right here, I actually placed some kind of it's kind of a cone shape. So the dice bounces once, bounces twice, it rolls inside the cone shape, and then gets spat out by this small piece, this small ramp here. Sometimes also with dices would be stuck here, but most often of the time they just roll all the way around. And the problem that I had with the smaller one simply disappeared like that. So that's it for my old dice tower, which is the actual dice tower that I am using right now. So this is what it is. So that's it for what I've crafted for the D&D basement, and I hope you enjoyed seeing what I did, because I really like these monsters and I'm not gonna stop there. So the dice tower is actually helping me a lot. A lot of you know that I have some kind of weird stuff happening when I roll dices. I will get fumbles and criticals, and obviously I'm not just in the 5 out of 100 dices or whatever the numbers are. I'm always higher than that. So monsters actually look like stormtroopers when they are around my table. So the dice towers really help that, and it's a good thing. So if you want rolls that are more balanced and everything, just go for a dice tower. Makes a great sound. It's as fun as it is to roll them down into the dice tower. So just go for it. Thanks for watching. As everyone already told you on YouTube, like if you did like the video, and subscribe if you already didn't do it. I'm not the kind that does a lot of videos, so you're not gonna be spammed with it, but when I do, I show you my stuff, and it's quite an awesome view. Thanks for watching, and like if you did like.